Welcome to the Elevate Life Project with your host, Michael Cohan. At the Elevate Life Project, we are dedicated to inspiring people to achieve their goals and live their dreams to their highest potential. Aim higher. Elevate your life. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Elevate Life Project. I'm your host, Michael Cohan, and I am so glad you're here with me today. Whether you're on a morning walk, driving to work, or just taking a few minutes for yourself, thank you for being here. This one is going to be a good one. So today, I want to have a real conversation with you about something that I think is at the foundation of everything we talk about on this show. We talk a lot about goals, about mindset, about taking action, and all of that matters. But none of it works the way it should if the relationship you have with yourself isn't solid. So today, we're going to talk about self-acceptance, the difference between self-esteem and self-confidence, and what it truly means to believe in yourself. And I promise you, by the end of this episode, you're going to see yourself a little differently. Let's start with self-acceptance, because I think this is where it all begins. And I want to ask you a question, and I want you to really sit with it. Do you accept yourself? Like, truly accept yourself. Not, do you tolerate yourself, or do you get through the day without falling apart? I mean, do you look at who you are, the good, the bad, the messy, the imperfect, and say, yeah, that's me, and I'm okay with that? For most people, the honest answer is no. And that's not something to feel bad about. It's actually real common. Because here's the thing most people don't realize. Self-acceptance doesn't happen automatically. You don't just wake up one day fully at peace with who you are. It's something you have to learn, and it's something you have to practice. And a lot of people confuse self-acceptance with happiness. They think, what if I accept myself? That means I should feel happy all the time. But that's not what it is. Self-acceptance isn't about feeling happy. It's about being honest. It's about looking at yourself realistically, your strengths, your weaknesses, your quirks and all, and not beating yourself over the parts that aren't perfect. And here's what I think is one of the biggest misconceptions out there. People hear self-acceptance and they think it means giving up. They think it means, well, I guess this is who I am, so I'll just stay here and stop trying. That couldn't be further from the truth. Self-acceptance isn't about resigning yourself to your current situation. It's actually the opposite. It's the starting line for growth. You can't fix something you won't acknowledge. You can't improve something you refuse to look at. So when you accept yourself, you say, here's where I am. Here's what I'm working with. That's when real change becomes possible. Psychologists actually say that self-acceptance is the first significant step toward meaningful personal change. Not the last step, the first step. So how do you start? The first thing is compassion. And I mean compassion towards yourself. A lot of us walk around with this inner critic that just never shuts up. It's always telling you you're not good enough, not smart enough, not thin enough, not successful enough. And when we listen to it, we let it run the show. But here's what I want you to try. The next time that voice starts up, treat yourself the way you would treat your best friend. If your best friend came to you and said, I messed up, would you tear them a new? No. Would you list all their failures and tell them they're worthless? Of course not. You'd say, hey, it's okay. You're human. Let's figure out the next step. So why don't you talk to yourself that way? That's where compassion comes in. Stop comparing yourself to everyone else. Appreciate the qualities you do have, and when you make a mistake, use it as a motivation to grow, not as ammunition to destroy yourself. The second piece is learning to love yourself. And I know that phrase gets thrown around a lot, but I want to be specific about what I mean. Loving yourself is not selfish. It's not shallow. It's not self-indulgent. Loving yourself means treating yourself with the same respect and kindness that you give to the people you care about most. If you wouldn't let someone talk to your best friend the way you talk to yourself, then something needs to change. Now, this doesn't happen overnight. It's a process. It starts with building an appreciation for who you are and understanding why you're here. And once you have that foundation, loving yourself becomes a lot more natural. Here's the beautiful paradox of it all. When you accept your imperfections without feeling bad about them, you actually become happier. Not because everything is perfect, but because you've stopped fighting yourself. You stop wasting energy on shame and guilt, and you've redirected that energy towards growth. Self acceptance sets the tone for everything else: self improvement, better relationships, and a more fulfilling life. It all starts here. All right, now I want to shift it to something that I think is really important, and it's something that most people get wrong. I'm talking about the difference between self esteem and self confidence, because people use these words interchangeably all the time. And I get it. They sound like they mean the same thing, but they don't. And understanding the difference can completely change how you approach your personal growth. So let me break it down for you. Self confidence is situation specific. It's about trusting your ability to do particular things well. You might have a ton of confidence when it comes to your job, or playing a sport, or cooking a great meal. But you might have zero confidence when it comes to public speaking, or singing, or navigating a difficult conversation. Self confidence lives in specific areas of your life, and it can be high in one area and low in another at the same exact time. Self esteem is different. Self esteem is the general impression you have on yourself as a person. It's how you feel about you, not what you can do, but who you are. It's a form of self love. And here's where it gets really interesting. You can have a lot of self confidence and very little self esteem. Think about someone who's incredible at their job. They crush it every day. They win awards. They get promoted. But deep down, they don't actually like themselves. They don't feel worthy of love or happiness. That's high self confidence with low self esteem, and it happens more often than you think. The opposite is true too. You can have someone who generally loves they are, but doesn't feel particularly skilled at anything specific. They have high self esteem, but low self confidence in certain areas. Here's the other difference: self confidence is easier to build. It comes from preparation and repetition. If you want to be confident at giving speeches, you give 100 speeches. If you want to be confident shooting free throws, you shoot 100 free throws every day until you're consistently making them. You put in the work, you see the results, and your confidence grows. It's a pretty clear path. Self esteem, on the other hand, can't be built with trophies and achievements. You can have a wall full of awards and still not value yourself as a person. Self esteem has to come from a deeper place. So, how do you build self esteem? The first thing I tell you is to get clear on your values. What matters to you? What do you stand for? Write them down and use them to guide your decisions. Because here's what happens when you live out of alignment with your values: you start feeling bad about yourself and you don't even know why. You just feel off. And that off feeling chips away at your self esteem over time. But when you're making decisions that align with your values, who you truly are, you feel solid. You feel grounded. You feel good about the person staring back at you in the mirror. The second thing is to let go of perfection. If perfection is your standard, you are setting yourself up to fail every single day. And when you fail to meet an impossible standard over and over again, your self esteem takes a beating. So lower the bar to something realistic. Give yourself permission to be human. Give yourself the chance to actually feel good about what you're trying to accomplish instead of consistently feeling like it's never enough. Another powerful way to build self esteem is to volunteer. Spend some time helping people who are less fortunate. And I'm not saying this to be preachy, I'm saying it because it works. When you give your time and energy to a cause that matters to you, you prove to yourself that you're the kind of generous person. and that fuels and feeds your self esteem in a way that no trophy ever could. And then there's self talk. This is a huge one. If you spend all day insulting yourself inside your own head, how are you supposed to feel good about who you are? You can't completely shut off that inner voice. Nobody can. But you can manage it. You can catch yourself in the middle of a negative thought and redirect it. Instead of, I'm so stupid, try, I made a mistake and I can learn from it. It sounds simple, but over time, that shifts in language changes the way you see yourself. Now, here's the thing I really want you to understand: you can have one without the other. Self confidence without self esteem, or self esteem without self confidence. But the magic happens when you have both. They work together. Self confidence helps you accomplish things, self esteem helps you enjoy and appreciate those accomplishments. Without self esteem, you can be widely successful and still feel empty inside. But when you combine the two, you create a life experience that can't be duplicated any other way. So build your self-confidence in the areas that matter to you and build your self-esteem so you can truly love the person doing the work. And that brings us to the last thing I want to talk about today. And it ties everything together. Believing in yourself. Because self-acceptance, self-esteem, self-confidence, they all feed into this one thing. And when you truly believe in yourself, everything changes. Think about what actually looks like. When you believe in yourself, you recognize your ability to accomplish your goals. You're optimistic about the future because you've seen yourself set goals and hit them. You treat yourself kindly. You feel uplifted. You're motivated to get things done. You have the faith even when things get hard. And other people feel it too. So, how do you build that belief? First, have confidence in your own abilities. Be your own best cheerleader. I know that sounds crazy, but who else is going to do it? Learn to break big tasks down into smaller, manageable pieces so that even when your spirit is low, you can look at what's in front of you and say, I can do this. Because you can. Second, create dreams. And I mean real dreams, not just vague wishes. Whether it's the career you want, a place you want to travel, a person you want to become, a financial goal you want to hit, get connected to those dreams. It doesn't matter where you come from or how much money you have right now. Dreams are about your future. And when you believe in your dreams, you start to believe in yourself. Third, set goals and chase them. Believing in yourself means being motivated to take action, getting into the habit of setting both short term and long term goals. The short term ones give you a quick win that builds momentum. The long term ones give you direction and purpose. And every time you hit a goal, no matter how small, you're reinforcing the belief that you are capable of great things. Fourth, treat yourself well. I keep coming back to this because it's important. Pamper yourself when you need it. Recognize that you deserve respect and love, not just from other people, but from yourself. The way you treat yourself sets the standard for how others treat you, so set the bar high. Fifth, keep your motivation high. Remember, the little engine that could, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. That's real wisdom in that. Motivation isn't just something you either have or you don't, it's something you build. And you build it through momentum. One small action leads to another, which leads to another, which leads to another. And before you know it, you've got a freight train of motivation carrying you forward. Six, and this is the one that really tests you. During the tough times, keep the faith. Nobody is immune to hard chapters. Life is going to throw things at you that feel unfair, that feel overwhelming, that make you want to give up. But if you believe in yourself, you can meet those moments with strength. You can push through them knowing that you'll come out the other side smarter, stronger, and more sure of who you are. And finally, recognize the bounty you already have. Look around you right now. Are you sitting somewhere comfortable? Are you safe? Are you warm? Whatever you love in your life, and there is something, even if it feels small, be thankful for it. Gratitude is one of the most underrated tools for building belief in yourself because it reminds you that your life has value right now, not just someday in the future. So let me bring it all together. Self acceptance is the foundation. It's seeing yourself clearly and being okay with what you see. Self esteem is the love and respect you have for yourself as a person. Self-confidence is the trust you build through preparation and experience. And believing in yourself is what happens when all three of those things come together. It's the most powerful choice you can make. And here's my challenge to you today. Pick one thing from this episode, just one, and start practicing it this week. Maybe it's showing yourself more compassion. Maybe it's identifying your values and making one decision that aligns with them. Maybe it's setting a small goal and actually following through whatever it is. Take that step because you deserve to live a life where you can accept yourself, love yourself, believe in yourself, and show up as the fullest version of who you are. All right, that's what I've got for you today. If this episode spoke to you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe, leave us a review. That's what helps us reach more people, and it means the world to me. To write a review, open the podcast in your app and search for Living Life on Purpose. And if you want to discover your true purpose, head over to the elevatelifeproject.com. As always, aim higher and elevate your life.
Thank you for listening to the Elevate Life Project. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you like our show, please write us a review. By writing us a review, you will help raise our profile so more people can find our show. Links to our sponsors and other tools can be found in our show notes, along with other useful information. For more information on our coaching classes, please visit our website at elevatelifeproject.com and sign up for our newsletter. Remember, aim higher, elevate your life.
Thank you.